Michael Burry is one of the most followed investors because he predicted the global financial crisis of 2008, and he has recently been saying that the stock market is going through another massive bear market. Michael Burry also released his 13F filing today, and in it, we can see that Michael Burry basically sold off his entire portfolio. He sold his positions like Google, Meta, Global Payments, and Booking Holdings. And you can see right here that he sold 100% of his positions. If we take a look at his overall activity for the second quarter, we can see that there was only one stock that he has been buying, and that is Geo Group. And it's about a $3 million position. Other than this one position, Geo Group, again, Michael Burry has sold literally every other stock he owns, and it's 100% of the holdings. So it looks like he is very, very bearish on the overall market right now. And in this video, we are going to talk about why Michael Burry is so bearish on the market right now and why he is selling off literally like 99% of his portfolio. So right here, I have a tweet from Michael Burry, and this says, "NASDAQ a bull market because it is up 20% off its lows. Who makes this stuff up? After 2000, the NASDAQ did that 7 times as it fell 78% to its 2002 low." So you guys may have been hearing recently that people are saying we're in a new bull market in the NASDAQ because it's rallied over 20% now. And people are basically saying that, well, the market has bottomed, the bottom is in. Michael Burry clearly in this tweet is saying no. During the 2000 tech bubble, the NASDAQ rallied over 20% 7 times before finally bottoming 78% down from its all-time highs in 2002. So he is basically saying that this rally that we're currently in is nothing more than a bear market rally, and it looks like he is selling into it. So let's head over here to Stock Unlock, and let's take a look at the NASDAQ 100. And right here we can see that in March 9th of 2008, the NASDAQ was at about $1,668. And we can clearly see that it rallied about 22% before finally falling all the way down here to the bottom in what was this, like 2009, March of 2009, and falling another like 30%. This is the exact same price action if we go and take a look at the S&P 500 and we zoom into about 2008 here, we can see that right here in March of 2008, the S&P 500 rallied about 12% or over 10%, which is kind of the same price action we're seeing today. So again, it clearly seems like, at least to me, that Michael Burry is saying that this is nothing more than a bear market rally and that there are further lows that the market is overall going to see. And he's taking this bear market rally as an opportunity to basically liquidate his entire portfolio, selling out of 100% of his Google, Meta positions and everything like that. What is also really interesting to note is that in the first quarter of 2022, Michael Burry was buying Google, he was buying Booking, he was buying GPN, and he was buying Meta right here. So literally in the first quarter of 2022, he was buying all of these stocks, and now in the second quarter, he's liquidated all of them. That is why I am saying, he is taking this as a bear market rally and nothing more, and he's liquidated his entire portfolio. However, personally, I think that a lot of these stocks in Michael Burry's portfolio were looking cheap. He is a value investor and he does know how to find value. And Michael Burry actually says that Warren Buffett is one of his icons, one of his mentors. So let's head over to Stock Unlock here very quickly. Let's head over to our freeform tool and let's take a quick look at Google. And we are going to take a look at Google's price to operating cash flow. And we can see right here that over the past decade from 2012, Google's average price to operating cash flow has been nearly 18, and right now it is selling at 16.77. So in terms of Google's price to operating cash flow over the past decade, it's selling below its historical averages. And recently it was selling as low as 14.5. So personally, again, as an investor in Google, I don't think that Google is overvalued right now. I think that it's probably selling for about fair value right now. And I think that this company has massive tailwinds behind it, and it's going to grow for literally decades to come. If we take a look at Meta now, Meta's price to operating cash flow is like 8.3. It's literally the lowest it's pretty much ever been in Meta's history. And I think that, Meta's going to have a great future. I think that this business has tailwinds behind it. I do believe in the VR and AR that Meta is investing in and the metaverse. So right now, with a price to operating cash flow of only 8, I do think that this stock is looking quite cheap. This is the exact same story for Booking. There is this massive rally in global travel right now, And if we just modify this chart right here on stock unlock, we can see that bookings price to operating cash flow right now is about 18.2. And over the past decade, it's been about fair value for booking. We can see that it's actually traded well below or well above a price to operating cash flow of 18, and it's been as high as 24 in 2017. So when I take a look at the underlying fundamentals of these businesses and their prices right now, it doesn't look like these ones that Michael Burry is selling are overvalued or overly expensive. And let's take a look at GPN now. And let's take a look at GPN's operating cash flow. Let's just graph that here in stock unlock. And we can see that GPN's operating cash flow is literally sitting at an all-time high. So the fundamentals and the underlying fundamentals and the underlying cash flow of this business have never been better. And, I just don't think that it's really that cheap. So when I take a look under the hood of these businesses and I take a look at their value, they do look quite valuable right now. And I actually own Meta and I own Google, and I have been dollar cost averaging them throughout the second quarter of 2022. Or in my opinion, I just think that Michael Burry is straight up timing the market now, and he's trading the market. And I think that he's basically just become a macro trader, and he thinks that the overall market is going to continue coming down. Now, time will tell how that plays out, but what's important here is to understand that Michael Burry is being a trader. So for me, as a long-term investor who plans on investing for, the next 30 years, hopefully, I just want a dollar cost average, and I just want to continue dollar cost averaging. I'm not trying to time the market as an investor, and I'm just focusing on the long term and investing in businesses that I believe I can hold over the next 30 years. I don't know if Google is going to come back down or get even cheaper. If it does, I'm going to be there to dollar cost average it. I'm going to increase my position. But I just think that it's important to know, who you're listening to or who you're taking advice from, because a lot of people are following Michael Burry right now in this market, and a lot of people are paying attention to what he has to say. So if you're going to pay attention to him, just know that this guy is straight up becoming a macro trader, and he's making trades based on macro. I mean, think about it. He bought all of those positions basically in the first quarter of 2022, and now he's liquidated all of them within the next 3 to 6 months. So yeah, you just got to pay attention to that. And if you've read The Psychology of Money, I have some notes over here. And in The Psychology of Money, it warns that there are many different types of people in the market with many different goals and many different strategies. There can be people that even own the same stocks as you that have just vastly different goals and vastly different strategies. And you have to know that. You have to know, let's take me, for example. I own Meta and I own Google. And I have to realize that Michael Burry is becoming a macro trader, and he's not really becoming a long-term investor by making these moves, at least in my own opinion. I think that he's focusing on the short term. I do not think that he's focusing on the next decade. I think he's focusing on like the next 6 months to a year to 2 years to 3 years. That's not long-term investing in my opinion. Even though he owned the same stocks as me for a brief period there, it doesn't mean that he has the same goals, the same intentions, or the same outlook as me. And as a long-term investor, again, I have to realize that, which means that I'm not going to place too much weight on what Michael Burry is doing right now, because again, his goals and everything are totally different than my own, and his strategy clearly is definitely different than my own strategy. So personally, I'm not taking too much weight on what Michael Burry is doing right now. I think it's interesting to pay attention to the guy because he has been right in the past, but right now, I'm not going to go and liquidate my entire portfolio. Personally, I think that would be a mistake for myself. And I think that would be a mistake for a lot of long-term dollar cost average investors, because it would ruin our habits. It would ruin our consistency. And then we would have to think, when's the time to enter back into the market? Then we would have to time the bottom, and we would have to try and buy back all of our positions, at a massive discount. Also, I think that there are a lot of very valuable and cheap stocks in this market. My channel here, I'm basically dedicated now to trying and finding undervalued stocks in any market condition. And that's what my channel, again, is dedicated to. And I do believe that there is a ton of value out there. I even made a $1 million portfolio challenge where I track the stocks that I would buy if I had $1 million. It is a paper portfolio, but it's a research project to show that I think there are stocks out there that can outperform the market. And a few of those positions in that portfolio that I have are up 50% or 40% plus. There's a handful that are up over 30%. There's a few that are up 40%. And I think there's 1 or 2 that are up 50%. So, take this as you will, you guys, but as a long-term investor, again, I'm just not putting too much weight on Michael Burry. I'm not going to be selling my entire portfolio. And let me know what you guys are doing down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of Michael Burry. Do you guys think that he's just turning into a trader? Do you think that he's right? Again, I would just love to hear all of your comments down in the comment section. But that's going to wrap up the video, everyone. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to leave a like. And if you're interested in the stock analysis and educational platform that I use here on my channel, it is Stock Unlock, and you can get a 7-day free trial for free just by entering in your email if you're interested in checking out the platform. But that's going to wrap everything up for me today, you guys. So thank you again so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it, and I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you all in my next video.